Hey y'all, I'm Sydney Littejohn Watkins, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on Sports Like Talk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Kings and queens go hard. Rise and star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote.
SLT Nation, it is 2023. It is officially here. Season 3 is kicking off, and today we're going to kick it off in a major way. Welcome to Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow. That's right. We're talking to real people, real stories of rising stars who are doing big things. And what they doing, KT?
Living out big dreams.
Oh, we! And today, we start the year off by crossing into another sport. We've been working so hard. We got some other ones lined up, but the first one is always a trailblazer, bringing to the SLT family softball pitcher extraordinaire, All-American Sydney Watkins. And guess what, y'all? Her husband is an alum. So is this a nomination video, Kevin?
Yes, it is, sir.
Sound the alarm, ladies and gentlemen. We get to kick 2023 off with a nomination. Newberry, Florida's representative. How you doing today, Sydney? How you feeling?
I'm doing great, and I'm very happy to be here, very excited to talk with y'all, so thanks for having me on.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I ain't trying to gas you up or nothing, but as we concluded Alex's, he said, "Hey, my wife gonna come on and gonna give y'all a banger." He said she gonna come on. He said she's built for this type of show. So let's buckle up. Let's go. I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones, the Louisiana, Mr. Yeet himself. I'm rocking alongside my brother from another mother, KT. 3 years, man. You ain't tired of me yet, man?
Yes, I am, but I love the guests that we have on. And B. Jones, you know, anybody that watch the show, they know that you're the energy.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. Hey, y'all enjoy this right now because it's a new year. But guess what? By March, we'll be fighting like normal brothers.
Yeah. But you know what? Like I said, you're the high, and I'm the one that likes to get low.
You the cool to the other side of the pillar, KT. That's what you do.
No, but you didn't get that get low.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. All right, check this out. If this is your first time joining the show, hey, Happy New Year. And listen, welcome to the family. We got to ask a couple of small favors for you in SLT tradition. On the count of 3, we need you to do a couple of things for us. 1, smash that subscribe button. Stick around. Hang out with your boys. We got a major year coming at you, and I promise you it's going to be something in there for everybody. And number 2, smash that like button so we can tell the world about Sydney and the Littlejohn-Watkins. We can tell everybody about her. That's what now you get to get low joke, right? All right, here we go. On the count of 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Boom! Get low. All right, Sydney. Well, hey, your people locked in with us. They all part of the family. Listen, we don't do fans around here. We don't do followers. We do family members. But in order for you to become SLT family, it was more than just answering back and saying, "Yeah, I do the show." You got to cross the burning sands, okay, Sydney? Are you ready for the Sports Life Talk initiation?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
All right, to initiate you into the SLT family, got to give us your top 5 music artists.
All right. Well, first, I would say I absolutely love Chris Brown. I saw him in concert this summer. Love him. Second, I'm going to do them as a couple because I do like their music.
Okay.
There is Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Power.
I would say I do love me some Jay-Z. Can't forget about my kinfolk, Lil Jon.
Okay.
All music.
What?
I got to, and then I do love me some J. Cole. I really love the lyrics that he speaks. Love me some J. Cole. And then, I got to throw one in there that's a little different. I do love some Luke Combs. Got to bring that.
Oh, okay. We got a little country in there. Okay, all right. But the J. Cole, she wanted me with the J. Cole. KT, what you giving her?
How many did we give her husband? Didn't I give him a?
I think you gave him a little extra one because you were saucing up because of the Florida Gators. Yeah.
Well, you know what? This is our first professional softball player.
That's right.
So you never forget your first. Give her 10. Give her 10.
Oh, we're gonna be broke by the middle of the year.
Oh well, what is money anyway, B. Jones? We ain't got it anyway. Just give it to her. Go ahead.
10 chings. My goodness, you being great. Hey, all right, Kevin, that's your world, man. I'm gonna let you run it though.
Yeah, so just ham and cheese sandwiches for the rest of the year. All right, so who is your favorite superhero and why?
Ooh, there's a lot. I'm gonna have to go with the traditional Wonder Woman though. Gotta be a female advocate. And I feel like, a lot of people, especially, you watch the movies and everything, everybody's like, oh my God, she's from the Amazon. She's taller than everybody. She's stronger than everybody. I'm not gonna say I'm stronger than everybody, but I am taller than everybody. So I feel like there's a little relation there. So, I looked up to her a lot growing up because my mom would always say, hey, Wonder Woman's bigger than everybody too. It's all right. So
yeah,
that's why I
And some people think that, Wonder Woman, she's basically perfect. And didn't you pitch a perfect game before?
I actually pitched 2.
Oh, producers.
Well, I didn't have one. You know what I'm saying? Now to get that out there. All right. So since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
If I'm thinking in the context of walkout songs, any walkout song by Lil Jon is a hit to me. That's what I had in college. Everybody called me Lil Jon, so I always have to go with something.
From the window to the wall.
I don't think we want that one as a walkout song. What about the turn down for what?
The one, so turn down for what was actually mine and Alex's wedding hashtag, but it was turn down for what,
Oh,
okay. So, but my walkout song was always Throw It Up. But if I had to pick a life song that was describing my life, this one will throw y'all for a loop, but I would have to say I Found a Way. It was the theme song for Drake and Josh. I don't know if y'all remember that show.
I remember the show.
Hey, I never watched it. My daughter watched it a little bit.
Yeah, y'all gotta go listen to that song, I Found a Way, because anytime I hear that, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's it. That's me.
All right. So if you could shadow anyone for a week and learn from them, they could be either dead or alive. Who would it be and why?
Oh, one of them, I've always loved this woman. I would probably have to say Betty White.
Oh.
Mainly because I am a big time animal lover, and I loved all of her philanthropic work with animals and, getting with sanctuaries, making her own animal clothing line and things like that. So I would either say her or, honestly, for the same types of reasons, Dolly Parton. She just had a little more sparkle to her sometimes, and she could actually sing. So that, I would love to follow either of those women because I feel like they have good hearts. And again, you get an animal lover, they can't be a bad person. So, because, the animals ain't gonna put up with that. So,
well, I know I can talk about Dolly Parton and Betty White, but on Betty White, when she first started her show, she had a black co-host, and the networks would tell her, hey, you can't do that. Well, she said, well, I'm not going to do this show then. So I want to give a shout out to her on that. And I think Dolly Parton had something where I know she donated to a HBCU or something like that. So shout out to them.
Look at you, Kevin, with your Betty White history facts.
Hey. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of knowledge up here, B. Jones. You may not think it's a lot of knowledge here. All right, so if you hit that subscribe button or thinking about doing it, please do so and leave us your top 5, your theme song, and your favorite superhero in our comments. On behalf of the SLT Nation, want to welcome John to the family. So go ahead and take it away, brother.
right, so now we got to know you as the person, right? We know what you like, but let's talk about this career, because you're not sitting here in front of us just as a friend of somebody. You are a bad woman. You already mentioned the 2 perfect games. Let's take this thing back to East Texas, because we found out backstage that you are Jacksonville's very own, right? What'd you call it? What was the other city?
Well, Rust. Jacksonville is where I was born, but Rust
Texas. Well, let's take this thing back to the Luke Combs side of the initiation. And tell us when you start playing softball and a little bit about your softball journey.
Well, I had an amazing childhood, so kudos to my parents for being able to keep up with me, because I did everything. And so, I dabbled in softball a little bit, but I didn't really grasp it and start to take off with it until I was 11. Didn't start really pitching until I was 12. So I would say that's whenever my key start was. But at the time, I was also doing cheerleading, swimming, all the twirling, any activity you could name, I was doing it. But probably around 12 is whenever I really started to pick things up and realize that, hey, this is a game that I want to stick with.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know about you, KT. When I was in high school, and I hope none of my old classmates watching this, but the softball girls were the finest ones at my school. I know a lot of people like the cheerleader girls, but it was something about, I guess, the way the pants, y'all know what I'm talking about. They were thicker than a snicker. Them girls would come through the school with them cleats on. I'd be like, okay, all right. So, all right. So when did you start playing? Like when you was in middle school or high school or?
Yeah, so it was more middle school. It was one of those things where, I'm from the backwoods of the country. So, I baled hays for fun. But whenever I started playing, it was more of, I was in a lot of activities, but there was a certain friend group that I hung out with, and their dads were always coaching softball. And so I kept telling my parents, hey, I want to play with my friends. I want to play with my friends. So that's how I got my start in it. And then pitching, honestly, it's kind of funny how it came about, because whenever I tell y'all, whenever I started softball, I was horrible. They put me in the outfield. I couldn't catch a ball. I could hit the ball. Whenever I hit it, it would go far, but it was if I hit it. So, I was the one that they would play 2 innings of every game, because it was the rule that everybody had to play. They stick me out in right field and just pray to Jesus that a ball wouldn't hit out there. But because my depth perception from then until now, horrible. But one of my coaches was like, Sydney, you're kind of, he said it in the most respectful way, but it was like, you're kind of awkward. You got big hands, big feet. You haven't grown into them yet. Why don't you try pitching? And, I was like, okay. But then I tried it and was like, wait a second. This is kind of fun. So then, I went and started bugging my parents about hey, I want to go throw. I want to go throw. Dad, can you catch me? Can we go throw? And they thought it was kind of a joke at first. But I kept hammering them with it. And so then we got me in pitching lessons up in Tyler. And then the rest is history.
Oh yeah, because I've seen some videos, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it right now. Well, hey, the meanest curveball I have ever seen in my life. The whole term of trouble with the curve, she invented it. Who taught you that wicked curve?
Well, first of all, I got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me hypermobile elbows. So the term double jointed in the elbows or hypermobile, that's what I am. And so because of that, my arm will go into some weird positions whenever I'm pitching. I always tell girls that I'm teaching, if I'm giving pitching lessons, don't watch a slow-mo video of me pitching, because my arm does weird things, and most people's can't do that. Because honestly, it's kind of gross the way it bends, but that is the reason that I can. So honestly, God blessed me with that. But I mean, it was one of those things that I had an injury in high school that made it, because I used to throw gas. Whenever I was hitting the upper 60s, I was like, man, I'm going to be throwing 70, by the time I get to college. And then God humbled me real quick in high school and said, no, let's try something else. I gave you some other talents. So then I worked with Amanda Scarborough, who was a pitcher at A&M. She's also an ESPN analyst. And then kind of got started with the curve there. She actually taught me a 2-seam grip, which is, I'm not going to say it's super rare, but literally anytime I show anybody the grip, they're like, what is that? Why are you doing that? And I'm like, well, it works. I don't know. And then in college, Stephanie Van Brakel Prothro was my pitching coach, who was a dog at Alabama. I mean, she's one of those, like, if you can imagine a pit bull as a pitcher, that was her. And now she is the head coach at the University of Memphis for softball. So
wow.
That's her coach. She's awesome. She saved my life in multitudes of ways, and she really helped me perfect that curveball. She was like, this is your natural ability. We're going to strengthen your strength. So let's go. Nobody else can do this like you can. So let's go. And I was like, all right.
Well, I tell you what, when we get to link up with you and Alex in person, we're going to record the whole thing, but I got to try swinging at one of these curveballs. Because that thing literally, Kevin, did you see it literally move from one planet to the next, man? I've never seen a ball like going straight down the middle and it ends up like 3 feet. So I don't even know how to catch that thing. But I'm going to try to hit one of those balls when we come out. All right, listen, I'm going to name some schools out, and then I want you to kind of give me some word association after the end of this and explain yourself. Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Texas, SMU, TCU. I don't know. The list goes on. Even OU. You passed over all of those schools, and you chose Alabama. Why Alabama?
So I'm going to start out by saying this. A lot of the Texas schools did not recruit me. The only ones that really recruited me were Texas Tech and University of North Texas. I did start getting some interest from A&M and Baylor, but that was after I had already committed to Alabama.
And your commitment was locked in.
Oh, yeah, I'm loyal. I'm loyal as they come, so I'm going to stick with it. So, but I think I chose Alabama for a multitude of reasons, but one of them was, I am from a very small town, small town, small minds, and I love where I grew up. I still have my core group of friends, that's, again, it's my background. It's where I come from. And I think it's, important to always have your roots, but I wanted to go somewhere. I knew this about myself at a young age, is like, if I did not get far enough away from home, I would be focused on coming home on the weekends and trying to connect with my old friends instead of really investing to where I was at and what my goals were.
Right.
I was going to get caught up in that. So I wanted to go far away from home, but I also wanted to go somewhere in the South because I don't do cold weather. So I didn't want no part of that. So, that was something that I thought about. Now, whenever I would tell my mom things like that, she's like, oh, that's nonsense. Like, don't bring that to me. She wanted me to stay close. But that was something I knew. So that went into part of my recruitment. I actually really enjoyed Texas Tech. It's just, I enjoyed Alabama so much more. It was something that whenever I stepped on that campus, like, I could picture myself there. I got to talk to some of the players there, and they were just as weird or weirder than I was. And they really seemed to embrace that. And I loved the element of tradition that they brought, not only with softball, but just with all the sports. That's
right. Alabama playoff sports. You're right. You're right about that. So,
and whenever I was being recruited, I mean, Coach Murphy introduced me to a lot of other coaches, like gymnastics, and I didn't get to meet Nick Saban. He was out of town that weekend, but it's fine. But they really try to pump up all the sports. And something that was cool to me about University of Alabama, just being Alabama, was there's no pro sports in Alabama, and so
that's right.
Are extremely invested in college athletics, whether it's Alabama,
yes,
whether it's Auburn, whether it's UAB. And so, I wanted to go to a place that I knew was going to be supported. And I knew Alabama softball was supported because I had been to some of their games. And like I said, I loved the coaching staff. I love Steph. I love Murph, Allie. And the thing about them, too, is, Alabama has now been a program for, I think this will be the 27th year. Coach Murphy has been a part of it since year one. He was an assistant coach. He's been a part of it since year one. So, and there was one point where he went to be a coach at LSU for a day, but then he came back to Alabama the next day. It was just, just to really ruffle some feathers, but they
you had to do it though. You and Alex Walton, I had to do it though. Okay. All right, come on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, I had to do it.
All right, so real quickly backstage, you told us that you played in the national championship and against Florida. Now you working at Florida. Like, I hate to throw salt on that, but it tells a story, right? Because you took this group of weird girls along with yourself that was all recruited to this Tuscaloosa, and you guys set the world on fire and made it all the way to the national championship. Tell us a little bit about that. Just quickly tell us that story.
Oh, that was my freshman year, and that journey was one that I will never forget. I mean, it was one of those, practicing in the fall, you're like, okay, you're Alabama, so you're going to be good, but we didn't know we were going to be that good. And just the cohesiveness of the team and the way that literally every single person on that team made an impact. It didn't matter if you were playing the bench for a game. If you picked the pitches and you always had a part. You always made an impact. And so that group was just one that I will never forget. They were all at our wedding. They were all turning up with us at our wedding. And they're all girls I still keep in contact with. And so, you hate that you couldn't finish it out on top. But that journey is, again, something. It's almost like, the journey sometimes is better than the destination. And that journey is definitely one that I'll never forget.
Well, I'm just going to speak on this one just for a second, and then we'll get on to the rest of the show. But Athletes Unlimited, that is a cool program. Let me tell you what's really cool about it. I was in Vegas not too long ago. I think it was kind of late summer, and we were watching television in the restaurant. Guess what was on? Women's softball for Athletes Unlimited. Just so you know, we literally were sitting there. We were rooting for people, and we were commenting on the play and how fast the game was moving. The girl hit a dingo over the wall. We were like, "Oh, wait, she's savage." But tell us a little bit about this Athletes Unlimited. And it seems like really only the best of the best, because I kind of went through and looked at some of these teams, and it looks like the best of the college All-Americans all playing in this league. And how did you get your opportunity to play in this league?
Yeah, that league, it's 60 athletes, and it's absolutely the best of the best. And, sometimes whenever I'm there, I'm like, wow, I'm like fangirling all these other girls, and I got to tell myself, hey, you got a seat at the table, man. You got to calm down. But, it's one of those things that Athletes Unlimited is a different way to play softball. And I compare it to kind of like a fantasy league. Is obviously It's very real, so it's not fantasy, but how it's set up, whoever are the leaderboard winners at the end of the week, so whoever had the best performance that week, top 4 finishers get to be the captains for the next week, and they draft a new team every single week. So
that makes so much sense to me now, because I noticed that some of the girls were changing jerseys during mid-season, and so all right, I thought you guys just switched colors. To be honest with you,
you're drafted to a whole new team each week based on the point system.
Wow. Okay. So I gotta get invested in, because they got a women's basketball, the women's volleyball. Athletes Unlimited is super dope. So y'all check this out. Last question, Kevin. I'm sorry, but I was stalking your IG page, and I saw the absolute funniest video. I don't know how we didn't catch this one during Alex's show. But what were you thinking when you turned on the television and they got your husband? I'm trying to think of what my wife would have told me if she saw that. Y'all, please go to her IG page at SM_Littejohn_, and y'all go watch this video of her husband Alex, who was previously on our show. Oh my God, it is a laugh out loud moment. So you watching TV at home? To walk us through that.
So, me and some of the other strength coach wives were all sitting together, having our little Chick-fil-A. And honestly, it was at a point of the game where they were just going through interviews and things like that. So we're not really paying attention. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I know Alex wears a watch. I know what he wears during the game because I'm always looking for him. I always know what he looks like. All of a sudden, I see the shoulders going. And I was like, jaw to the floor. And all the other wives were like, oh my God. And I was like, that's mine. And then I got my mom calling me, and she was like, are you watching the game? And I said, yes. She goes, don't tell me that's my son-in-law. And I was like, yes. So,
what did he say to you when you finally asked him? Was he trying to get the players hyped up, or what was he doing?
Yeah, he said, he was talking to the players and they were like, "Oh yeah, coach, we got put on him." He's like, "Yeah, you got put that haymaker. And that's whenever he went into the big punches, and he just, he's extra all the time, so he had to just keep going."
Hey, the way ESPN showed it, just seemed like he was just, I don't know, like he was just by himself. Oh, that was a great moment.
Honestly, and this is another reason why I love him. Even if he was by himself, he'd still be doing the same thing. Like, it doesn't matter if he's in a crowd or not. So.
Hey, we love you, Alex Watkins, man. Yeah. Hey, you got next.
I do have a question to ask.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, Sydney. So we know that softball, the popularity, it's a very popular sport. And ESPN used to always put it on ESPN2, but the number said ESPN1 because it would do better numbers than Major League Baseball. So how much did it mean to the sport for it to move from ESPN2 to ESPN1?
I mean, it was just an incredible feeling to be able to witness it, but to also be a part of it. Especially, college, it's been happening some, especially whenever you get to the World Series, it's on ESPN. And don't get me wrong, that was another feeling within itself, is like, okay, we're right there at the top. We're finally starting to break through. And then it's like we get a little bit more with Athletes Unlimited being on ESPN. And so to even see the professional leagues, because usually in the past, there's been a big drop off in support from college to professional. And so seeing that, hey, like we're still getting the views, we're still getting the interest, it just makes us professional athletes, professional softball players feel like we're doing the best that we possibly can and making it better for the next generations to come, that we're actually, getting ground to where maybe, they don't have to play the next athletes, the next generation. They don't have to want to play professional and then also work a full-time job outside of it. Maybe eventually at some point they'll be able to get that support to where they can be a full-time professional softball player. Mm-hmm. And, some girls do that now. It's just a lot of us don't have the means to be able to do that. So we do have to work a full-time job outside of that. And I will say that's one thing I really appreciate about Athletes Unlimited is they know and understand that. That's why our season is so short, because they want to give us the support that they can, the best support they can, but also understand that to get the best athletes, sometimes you're not going to be able to do that unless you allow them to also work outside of that. So again, just seeing that progress gives us hope for softball in the future. And again, it's just amazing to be a part of it.
All right. Well, Kevin, you kind of threw a blanket on my haymaker story, because now I'm about to throw some haymakers at you. You know what I mean? Do what we normally do. Sydney Watkins, welcome to the championship rounds. This is the part of the show where Kevin and I, we go 1v1. It's 1-on-1, and you are now officially calling all the shots. So I'm pretty sure you saw Alex's show. You already know what's about to go down. All right, but I'll explain it to the fans anyway. I'll explain it to the people out there. Kevin and I will both pitch an option. You select one. Whoever selects that, whichever option you select, that host gains a point. The first host will get 2 points, or the best out of 3 will win this episode of Championship Rounds. It's real simple, all right? And Kevin is a defending champ. I don't know how he's doing. I think there has to be something happening behind stage, behind closed doors that I don't know about. But Kevin, he on a 2-game win streak, so we go.
All right, so would you rather...
You know what? Not. It's a new year. It's a new year, new season. So you're not on a streak anymore.
Well, I'm on a 1-game streak.
Oh, yeah, 1-game streak. Okay.
Yeah, well, give me my props. All right, so you mentioned at the beginning of the show you're tall, so just go with me on this one. Would you rather become a world-class model, rocking the runway, sporting Gucci, Prada, and Fenty, or...
would you rather become the face of an upcoming clothing brand, which means it's not Nike or it's not Adidas or something like that, but you become a top 10 influencer, social media influencer, and you get to represent an up-and-coming clothing brand?
I would have to say the upcoming clothing brand. One, because although I may be tall, this girl likes to eat. I'm a dietitian. I know what I need to eat. I don't meet model standards in that category, and I don't want them chopping off my hair for a look. So that is I always want to be a part of something new and help somebody out. So
Well, you helping me out. You helping me out. Yo, round one goes to the mouth of the South. Here we go. Round two. Would you rather host a YouTube softball series where you get to interview all of your friends from Athletes Unlimited while playing softball, right? Pitch and catch back in their hometowns at their parks that they grew up playing in, or
remember what you just said on round one. Host your own cooking show where you travel the world interviewing athletes and celebrities as they take you to their favorite places to eat in their hometowns.
Again, I'm a foodie, so I'm gonna have to go with the food just because.
Yeah, but you could have helped the young ladies. You could have spread it to message.
But with the food, nobody's doing that right now. Nobody's doing that.
Nobody's doing that, B. Jones. Nobody's doing it.
They still ain't. All right. They still ain't doing it. They still ain't doing it. All right, round three. Let's go. This is for it all.
One day I'm not going to laugh at that. All right, would you rather have Nike give you your own clothing line where the proceeds go to multiple softball scholarships in your name, or
would you get the opportunity to travel the country with an elite softball camp, right? And you get to go to all of these elementary schools and parks, and you get to educate the youngsters on the importance of getting out and playing softball.
Again, I'm gonna have to go with the head coach here on this one, just because listen, there's already groups that are doing that, and so they're already being the trailblazers in that area. Now we got to get some funds to support these girls that are playing.
I promise you, I'm reaching LSU alumni. Every softball LSU alumni, I'm reaching out to y'all so we could get it.
Oh, Sydney, thank you so much. Turn down for what, B. Jones? I won her husband's episode. I won this episode. You know what? When y'all drive through, I want both of y'all to take a picture with this. Because of y'all.
You can also pay for lunch too, Kevin, since you family, since you a Watkins now.
You know what? B. Jones, you know what? If we all meet up, I will pay for lunch. We got to go somewhere where it's cheap though.
After I knock this curveball out the park, we
man, this is beautiful. B. Jones, continue, man. Do whatever you need to do now, man.
It's been a rough year so far, Sydney. It's been a rough year so far. Season 3 is not kind, but you know what? Just like last year, I started off sluggish. Y'all keep up. Because I promise you, I'm gonna start waxing that head.
Hey, it's not about how you start; it's about how you finish.
It's how you finish. This is just the second inning. This is the first inning. You know what I'm saying? I got many more pitches left.
My first professional softball player, and I won that. You never forget your first. You never forget your first. You just don't. Just saying. Ish. All
right. Well, the title of the show is You Got Next, Sydney Watkins. What? All right. You got to tell us, what does the future hold for you? Are we going to be turning on ESPN and watching again with the Athletes Unlimited? What can we expect out of this journey?
Yeah, I just signed my 2023 contract for AU championship season. So I will be back in Rosemont with Athletes Unlimited in July and August. They have a mini season called AUX coming on in June. Because my job, I won't be able to participate in that, but that will also be on ESPN right after the Women's College World Series, if y'all would like to follow along with that. And then I'll be doing that. I'll be doing anything that has to deal with food. I can't cook, but I bake. I know how to study food, how to do all those things, tell myself what to eat, tell everybody else what to eat. I can't cook it though. But I can bake, so I'll be baking.
Hey, baking is important too.
It is.
I like my cookies and cakes. We could get with the bacon.
All right. So, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Of course, I gotta shout out the man who was able to get me on this show. I gotta shout out my husband, Mr. Haymaker, Alex Watkins. We love him. I'm gonna tell myself that we love him. No, I'm kidding. We really do love him. And then, of course, I got to shout out all my family in East Texas and all the members of Rusk High School. And then, I really got to shout out my Alabama softball family, because without them, I would not be anywhere near where I am today.
Go on and say it, Kevin. You're the champion on this episode. Go on and say it.
What, you want me to say Roll Tide?
Yeah.
You want me to Roll Tide, B. Jones?
That ain't how you supposed to say it, but it's okay. They'll probably take
it. Man, look here, man. just to get that out kind of hurt. But yeah, I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with him.
You Jones, I don't hear you saying nothing over there.
Yes.
I'll chomp for you. I'll chomp for them Gators.
All right, Sydney. So this is the part of the show where you get a chance to call the person that you think should have next. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. I want you to do the same thing. With that said, who are you giving your game ball to?
My pitching coach, who is now in her first year as head coach of Memphis softball, Stephanie Van Brickle Prothrow. She has a great story. I'm an incredibly hard worker and just an incredible advocate for women's sports. Then I have Haley McClenny, who teammate of mine at Alabama and is now a teammate of mine with Athletes Unlimited, also an Olympic medalist, probably best softball player in the world right now. So a chance to talk to her, you better be ready to say roll tide. That's all I got to say. And then also,
if you come on the show, I will say it. There you go.
And then the other person would have to be Sam Fisher, who is another Athletes Unlimited team member. She is a part of the Player Executive Committee and is one of those women who is trailblazing for women's sports, especially softball. Has gone around, done camps everywhere. She's just an incredible human being, a fun human being to be around. And again, you can talk to her about anything, not just softball. You can talk to her about life and you're going to get something out of it.
All right, so we got Coach Sam, we got Sam, Haley, and Coach Pro. We got to get y'all all on the show. We're going to be sliding in y'all DMs. We can't wait to meet each and every one of you. But Sydney Watkins, oh my goodness. Thank you so much for coming on the show and becoming part of our family. I know we only get 30, 35 minutes to do these, so we really couldn't jump into everything we wanted to. Wow, your journey is amazing. Your smile is infectious. You are a trailblazer. You are unique. You are elite, and you got next. Sports Life Talk. The fam, we did it again. Season 3 is on its way. I'm smiling from ear to ear because it's a new year and we got some new people joining the family. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking along with us. Season 2 was amazing. We got to make this year even bigger and even better, and we can't do it without your support. So y'all, please keep smashing that like button. Keep smashing the subscribe button. Share the episodes with as many people as you possibly can so we can keep this journey going. And don't forget, we go live every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We stream on YouTube, so if you smash that button, hit the bell notification to come hang out with us. Go live as I roast Kevin, and I show y'all how much smart I am when it comes to sports. Okay? But we also talk other stuff. We talk life, we talk sneakers, we talk it all. So I don't know, KT, what am I missing, man?
I don't really like you, so I can care less what you're talking about right now.
We couldn't even get to March, huh? We couldn't even get to March. At the beginning of the show, you was giving me compliments.
I tried, but then you just shot your boy down, man. You supposed to build people up in 2023, and you failed at that. So, Sydney, thank you so much for rocking with us. Your story is dope. You're dope. Whatever you need from us, you let us know. Whenever y'all are in town, B. Jones and I, we're going to split the bill now, but we got y'all.
How did it go from split the bill that quick, Sydney? Ain't that something?
It is. And I'm going to go ahead and warn y'all. Y'all take us out to eat. I'll eat a reasonable meal, but that one that's in the other room right now, he's a human garbage disposal. He going to eat y'all out of money.
Oh, yeah. I already knew Coach Alex. I already knew he could do his thing.
Well,
so
I hope y'all like CC's pizza then, because I'm taking y'all.
Hey, let's do Ryan's at least, man. What is the Golden Corral? Oh, we got some all-you-can-eat spots down there somewhere in Texas.
Like that. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
We can get bougie and go to Luby's.
Luby's is even better.
Now I know she eats Texas through and through. She brought out the Luby's on the show. All right, here we go. Hey, from the window to the wall. Turn down for what? Hey, Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another, because together we are better. And keep dreaming big, because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next.
See what's crazy is I knew you had next, because you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag because you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Life Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest in the room. Podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom. You are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Life Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next is a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking sports life, talking this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sports life, talking this.